guys, so Madam Glam has sent me some more gel polishes. They let me pick out 4 colors from their perfect collection, and obviously since I am doing Halloween nails and Halloween is right around the corner, I went ahead and chose some Halloween colors. So as you can see, I picked out purple, black, green, and orange. I feel like these are the perfect Halloween colors. So looking here on the bottle, you can see the label, and then you flip it around to the back and it shows the ingredients, how long to cure it for, that it's vegan, cruelty-free, 21 free formula, palm oil-free, HEMA-free. So on the front label, it does have the name of the color, but also when you look at the bottom of the bottle, it has a little sticker that also tells you the name of the color. And on the top, you do have that swatch to see what color you are getting. And what you see on that swatch up on the top of the bottle is what you are getting inside of the bottle, so you know exactly what color you are getting, and it's not just a label where the color might be a little off to what is actually inside of the bottle. I also have their Perfect Pink, which I got previously. I used it in my cherry nail set. So if you're curious to see what that looks like, you can go check out that video. I can leave it linked down below. I love Madam Glam's gel polishes. They are super nice. They go on so smooth. They are a little bit of a thicker consistency. I personally prefer a little bit of a thicker gel. I don't like super thin gels. Usually those you have to apply multiple coats on. They're also very pigmented, which also helps with only having to do 1 coat. I do, however, always do 2 coats for the most part when I'm painting my nails, just because I want to make sure I have everything fully covered and I don't miss any spots and everything is nice and even. They also self-level really nicely, so you'll see later on where I do, I'm filling in some spots with a liner brush, and you can't tell the different brush strokes that I did or the different lines that I did because it all ended up blending in with each other and leveling out. You can also see here as I'm painting on the swatch stick, at first you can kind of see the brush strokes, but then it levels out to be one smooth, even surface. I also like that Madam Glam's gel polishes have this like kind of sweet smell. I've described it before as smelling like a banana runts, instead of smelling like a typical gel polish. That's just a nice little added touch to these. I really love these 4 colors that I picked out. They definitely are the perfect colors for Halloween. That purple, that super bright purple, is my favorite out of these 4. This green here is more of a blue based green, so you really see those blue undertones and it kind of looks a little bit teal-ish. It looks way more teal here on camera. In person it's not as teal looking. It definitely looks more green. And even though it's not that like neon slime green that you typically see around Halloween, I do feel like this is a great green for Halloween and for Halloween nail art. especially for the nail art that I did for today's video. This black really is the perfect black. It is so pigmented and so dark. You really only need one coat of it and you're good to go. You don't have to do multiple layers of it to get that full opaque blackness to it. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I use Model 1's black, and you can see that needs multiple coats. It's pretty streaky and pretty thin, and it usually takes me anywhere from like 2 to 3 coats to get it fully opaque. But with this Madam Glam Perfect Black, you can see right here, I really only needed to do this one coat and it was fully opaque. So this is what the colors look like with only one coat. And as you can see, they're nice and opaque. You can't see through them at all. You can just do this one coat and be done, or you can do a second coat to build up that color even more, or if you missed a spot or feel like it's a little uneven. This is what they look like with 2 coats and a top coat. I did top coat with the Madam Glam No Wipe top coat. So if you are interested in Madam Glam's Perfect Collection or any of their other colors, I do have a discount code that I will leave linked down below. I'll also pop it up here on the screen. It will save you 40% on your order. Now for the nail art portion of this video, I am really excited for this because I decided I was going to do aquarium nails for this, but I am going to be doing them a little bit differently because usually I build my aquarium nails on my nails, but this time I am going to be making them as press-ons. I have tried to make a press-on aquarium nail once before, back in February for Valentine's Day, but it was a major fail. I did these differently than how I did that, and they ended up turning out way better than that one did. But before I get into the aquarium nails, I am going to do some color blocking on 3 of the nails. I'm doing like a patchwork design on these ones. So starting out on this nail, I do just take Perfect Purple and draw a diagonal line to create like a triangle shape up at the top of the nail, and then I fill that in. I do flash cure that real quick before moving on with Perfect Green and doing the same thing to the bottom of the nail, drawing that diagonal line to create a kind of triangle shape. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry about that. They're doing construction on my street and I don't know what they just did, but that loud bang, it scared me so bad. But anyhow, like I was saying, I just drew this triangle shape and filled it in, and then I flash cured it. And then I went in with Perfect Orange and filled in that middle triangle shape. But instead of flash curing after I did the orange, I did go ahead and cure for a full 60 seconds to make sure everything was completely cured. And then I went back over everything with a second coat and cured that second coat for 60 seconds. And like I said earlier, I did do this patchwork design on 3 of the nails, so I just repeated what I did here on this first nail on the other 2 nails, but I did switch up how they look a little bit so they all don't look exactly the same. The patches are a little bit different. When doing patchwork nails, you don't really have to be so precise on where the different colors meet up, because you are going to be going over that with black, but you also don't want to, be too loose and crazy with it, because you don't want to see the other colors in each other, if that makes sense. You want to keep them separate, but you don't have to be so perfect, because it is going to get, that border there is going to get covered up anyhow with the black line and the like little stitches that you make. Now, the way I did this nail was a little more on the complicated side. Um, I could have just painted the entire nail purple and then put the orange and green on top of it, but I also didn't want to run the risk of the purple showing through the orange and the green, or having to do a bunch of extra layers on the orange and the green. So I did just do the orange and green patches first, and then went around them with the purple. I know that might not make sense right now, but as you watch this and see what I'm doing, it will make more sense. I do want to mention real quick that I am using a 22 millimeter liner brush, and I am using it for all of the nail art on this entire set. So, like I said earlier about not being so particular on the bordering colors, you can see here between the orange and the green, I do kind of have a little bit of a gap there where the colors don't really connect and meet. I didn't really try too hard to make them connect because I knew it was going to get covered up anyways. That black line that I make later on completely covers that up, and you can't tell that they're not directly touching each other, and there is that small little gap there. So after I got all the color blocking done, I did just real quick wipe the nails down with some alcohol before going in with Perfect Black and drawing that black line down the middle of the connecting colors. And for these black lines, I was being a little more careful with them. I wanted to make sure they were thick, but not too thick. Like, I wanted them to go straight down that middle line, but I also wanted it to go a little bit on either color to kind of like fuse them together almost, I guess. And then after I got those long lines on, I do go in with the smaller ones to create the little stitches. I did not cure the long black lines before going in with the smaller lines. Sometimes when you cure a line and then go over that line with another line, where those two lines connect, sometimes it's a little bit raised up, and I didn't want that. I wanted everything to be one smooth, even layer. So I just did the border first and then immediately went in with the stitches. After I got the stitches on, I did cure for 60 seconds. And because this black is so dark and pigmented, I only had to do one layer of this. So now for the aquarium nails, I am doing my nail art first before building the tanks. I thought this would be easier for me to figure out how far up the tank was going to go instead of doing the tank first and then doing the nail art on top. So I'm just starting out by drawing out my nail bed area. I am doing kind of like a French tip here. So I'm just taking this nude, drawing out my smile line, and then I fill that in. I do 2 coats of the nude and I cure each coat for 60 seconds. After I got the nude on, I'm going in and I'm going to do that super popular French tip bat design that's going around. So to start off, I'm just outlining my smile line with the black gel polish. And then after I get that outlined, I draw on 3 lines. I do 1 straight down the middle, and then I do 1 on either side of that, and I don't make those as long as that. I keep them up a little bit shorter. And then after I get those 3 lines on, I connect them with a curved line, and then I connect that smaller line to the side of the nail with a curved line also. And then after getting all the lines connect, I just fill in that wavy kind of shape there. I also take those points and bring them down a little more and make them a little more pointy. And then for the head, you can either draw that on with your liner brush, or you can do what I did and just dot it on with a dotting tool. I did round it out a little bit more and make it a little bit bigger with my liner brush, and then you just go in and draw on the 2 little ears and then cure that for 60 seconds, and then you have this cute little bat French tip design. And I didn't need to do a second coat of the black, so I did only do 1 coat of that. And then I just repeated that same process on the other nail that I was doing this on. So I am going to be building these tanks a little bit differently than how I usually do. So to do this, I am just putting some rhinestone glue on this paper nail form. Will be the back of the tank, and I put enough down to where it'll go up as far as I want it to go, up the back of the nail. You can see I was kind of seeing where it went and it didn't go up high enough, so I did add a little bit more. But you don't want it to go all the way up the nail and into the where your natural nail will be. Otherwise you won't be able to put these onto your natural nail. I did cure for 60 seconds, and then I was easily able to pull that right off of the form. And then I cut off all the excess rhinestone glue with these little nail scissors. They were curved, so I couldn't get all of it off with these scissors. So I did start to go in with my nail file, but then remembered my cuticle nippers have a straight edge, so I was able to get right up next to the nail tip and cut all of the excess rhinestone glue off. There was some little jagged edges there, so I did go in and file those smooth. And then here I was looking at the two openings that I had, the one at the free edge and the one up by the nail bed area, and I realized the one by the nail bed area was a larger space, so I decided I was going to put all my pieces that I was going to put inside of the nail in through there. So I just sealed off the free edge area with my rhinestone glue. I flash cured it real quick with my little flash cure light, then put it in my lamp to cure for a full 60 seconds, file off any of the excess rhinestone glue, and then after I did that, I was able to start filling these tanks. And this rhinestone glue is no wipe, so it does cure without a sticky layer, so you don't have to worry about anything sticking. So I had bought all these different little Halloween nail decorations. These, I think they said they were like wood pulp, but they feel like paper, so I don't really know what wood pulp is, I guess. I bought a bunch of different ones of those. I bought some little metal Halloween decorations. I also have these like maple leaf or fall leaf sequins in all different colors. I also have some Halloween sequins with different shapes and stuff. And then I have these little Halloween like Fimo slices. I bought these specifically for the little red, or not red, orange, black, and purple sprinkles. I really wanted those. I didn't really care about the other pieces there. So I tried to put this little candy wood pulp paper thing in here, but it was getting stuck, so I took that out. I thought it was too big, and instead I put in a little ghost, and then I put a few of those little Fimo sprinkle things in, and then I put in some little sequins. I was having a hard time picking them up with my tweezers, so I did end up using my like rhinestone picker-upper thing to pick up the little pieces that I wanted to have inside the nail and put them in. This nail I didn't really fill up too much. Because this was a new way of me doing this, and I didn't have as much space for stuff to move, I didn't want to overfill it. I know the way that I usually do, I can fit a lot more stuff in and have more space for stuff to move because I make my aquariums cover the entire nail, but because these are as press-ons, I couldn't do that, so I have a much shorter space, so I didn't put as much stuff in it. But after I got all the stuff in, I did fill it with baby oil, which I bought to test out to see if baby oil would be better than cuticle oil. I couldn't really tell a difference between the baby oil and cuticle oil. But after I filled in the tank with all of the oil, I tried not to get any air bubbles in there because I feel like that affects the movement and makes it so the stuff inside doesn't really move very much. I did end up with a couple small air bubbles, which was fine. It wasn't really that big of a deal. Then I sealed it with my rhinestone glue, flash cured it with my little flash cure light, and then put it in my big light to cure for a full 60 seconds, and then repeated all of that here with the second nail. And after getting that first nail done, I did realize I could fill up the tank a little bit more, so I did add more into this. I do, however, wish I didn't add 2 of each color of the little sprinkle things and only stuck with doing 1. I felt like those are a little too big to add that many of them in, but everything still moved nicely. After I got all that done, I am going in with my shiny top coat and top coating the bottom part of the tanks where you can see everything moving, and then I cure that for 60 seconds, and then after that I go in with my matte top coat and I top coat the bat and the French tip and all of the patchwork nails. I just felt like that would look better matte, whereas with the aquarium part of the nail, I don't feel like that would have looked very good matte. I feel like it would have been really hard to see all of the movement, so I kept that shiny and made everything else matte. And then I did one final cure for 60 seconds. And this is what they look like. I think they are super cute. They turned out so good. I love patchwork nails and I think they look so good, especially when they're matte. They look cute when they're shiny too, but I just think patchwork nails look the best when they're matte. And this little bat French tip is so cute. I've been loving seeing everyone do it, and I just had to try it out myself, and I just think that is just the cutest little design and a fun way to spice up a French tip. And doing the aquarium nails this way was a whole lot easier than how I usually do it. It went a whole lot quicker and I had absolutely 0 leaks, so I didn't have to patch any holes or drill a new hole to refill the tank because I lost so much oil. So that was really nice. The only thing is there's not a lot of movement going on. That's just because of what I chose to put in there and kind of how much I chose to put in there. Those wood pulp paper pieces don't move at all, and they get the other stuff stuck on them. As you can see, the only thing that's really moving is that one little sprinkle piece. There's an orange one and a black one in there too. I think they're stuck on something. And then this one, there's too many of those sprinkle pieces in. I should have stuck with just doing 3 total and not 6 total. They're just too big for the amount of space there is. So that's, my fault for not realizing that. I mean, they do still move, and if I shake it around a little bit, they move a bit more. That's just something that I'll have to remember if I do aquarium nails like this again. I do think I prefer the way I do them, that because then I have movement going all the way up the nail and all the way down the nail instead of just this small little area at the bottom of the nail. But if aquarium nails are hard for you to do, I definitely recommend trying doing it this way, because like I said, it's so much easier than the other way that I usually do it. Overall, for this being the first time doing aquarium nails with this method, I feel like they did turn out pretty good. They could be better, but this was my first time, so obviously the more I do it, the better it will get. I just think these are the cutest Halloween nails, and these colors from Madam Glam were the perfect colors for this set. So thank you so much, Madam Glam, for sending me these gel polishes. And again, if you're interested in any Madam Glam gel polishes, I do have a discount code. It will be down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video and watching me attempt to create aquarium nails in a new way.